So you're the woman dating my dad. How dare you date him without my permission?
Oh, are you Ken's daughter?
Yes, I am. I'm Lucy. You obviously know about me, right?
Of course I do. Nice to meet you. I'm Sarah, Ken's girlfriend.
Nice to meet you? Really? You think this is a friendly chat?
What? Didn't you message me so that we can get to know each other better?
Excuse me? No way! You're dating him without my permission. I didn't contact you today for introductions. I messaged you because I want you to break up with my dad.
Oh, well, Lucy, I understand this must be difficult for you.
You don't understand anything about me. I doubt you even care.
What?
You're just after his money, aren't you? You're trying to marry him to get all his assets to yourself, right? I won't let a gold digger like you marry him. I'll never accept you, so break up with him already.
Wait, Lucy, money has nothing to do with this. I've never thought about that at all.
Oh, really? Then why are you dating a single father? There are plenty of single men without children. Why would you choose someone who already has a family? Who already has me?
Because I fell in love with Ken. It's as simple as that.
You think you can fool me with a lie like that? Ever since Mom passed away, it's been just Dad and me. Anyone who dates a man with a middle school daughter must have some ulterior motives.
I was attracted to Ken himself. I don't care about his assets at all. I love him, and that includes you as his daughter.
Includes me? Don't make me laugh. You've never even tried to meet me before this.
Well, we thought it was a little too soon, but I wanted to meet you eventually.
Liar! You're just an old hag. Your lies won't work on me.
Old hag? Lucy, I wanted to meet you properly, but your father said you might need more time.
If you're really not after Dad's money, then prove it to me. If you can't do that, then break up with him.
Prove it? How? You won't believe me no matter how much I deny it.
You want to marry Dad, right?
Yes, of course. I want to stay by his side forever.
Forever? That's what they all say at first.
All? Have there been others?
That's none of your business. Just answer my questions. If you want to marry Dad, you can wait a few years, right? I might approve your marriage after I start college.
You're in 8th grade now, right?
Don't pretend you don't know everything about me already. Dad must have told you all about his precious daughter.
Yes, in fact, he's told me a lot about you.
Anyway, I'll start college in 4 years. If you're after money like I suspect, there's no way you could wait that long, right? But if you really love Dad and want to marry him, waiting should be no problem.
I see. So that's how you want me to prove it.
I know how it is for adults. 4 years is a really long time, right? Especially for single women that are old like you. I've heard that every minute counts. I bet it would be better to move on to another man than wait 4 years, right?
You seem to know a lot about that. Well, I am 41 this year. I'm past the typical marriage age, and in 4 years I'll be pushing 50. If I were looking to marry someone wealthy, it would make sense to switch targets sooner.
At least you're honest about your age. So, what do you say? Even though Dad is a high-ranking executive at a big company with a great income, I bet you can't sacrifice 4 years waiting.
Yes, I can.
Huh?
Because I'm not interested in marrying someone for their money. If I can marry Ken, whom I love, waiting 4 years is nothing.
What? You're bluffing. Nobody would wait that long.
Besides, I wasn't planning to rush into marriage anyway, and I wanted to respect your feelings as his daughter. That's why I won't force you to accept me right away. Actually, 4 years is a good amount of time to build a better relationship with you.
Build a relationship with you? Don't make me laugh. You are just acting tough. I know you're only pretending to be cool about it now. I know you'll soon say you can't wait anymore, and then you'll leave Dad for another man.
Challenge accepted. Let me prove to you how deep and serious my love is.
Fine, but remember, one word about marriage before I start college, and you're out.
I understand completely. I'll wait.
We'll see about that. Don't come crying when Dad finds someone younger than you.
I'll take that risk because I believe in Ken and in my feelings for him. So, I think it's best we postpone our marriage, Ken. We were talking about getting married by the end of the year, but since Lucy is against it, what can we do?
Wait! This is all so sudden! I haven't processed everything yet!
Oh, didn't I send you screenshots of my entire conversation with Lucy? Haven't you seen them yet?
Of course I saw them, but I never expected Lucy to suddenly contact you and to demand we break up because she thinks you're after my money. I never thought she'd do something like that.
It must have been quite a shock.
I'm still trying to understand how she even got your contact information.
Surprised by your daughter's hidden assertiveness?
Yeah, I'm completely shocked. She's always so sweet and obedient with me, always thinking of her dad. I can't believe she'd call someone she's never even met an old hag.
She's hurting, Ken. That's why she lashed out.
Still, to say such terrible things to you.
Don't be too angry with Lucy. She's in 8th grade, such a sensitive age. It's understandable that she'd resist a parent's remarriage, and it's because she cares about her father that she's so strict about who he marries.
I'm grateful you see it that way.
But there's one thing I'm curious about. You mentioned you dated a few people in the past, right? How did Lucy act with them?
Oh, yeah, to be honest, it was even worse than this.
What?
Of course, I was serious about all of them, but Lucy wouldn't accept anyone I introduced to her.
How many were there?
3 serious relationships in the past 5 years. If they were younger than me, she'd say this person isn't dependable. If they were older, she'd say they just want me as their caretaker when they're old and sick. She'd find fault with everyone, and eventually they'd break up with me.
Did any of them try to build a relationship with Lucy?
They all tried at first, but Lucy, she has her ways.
Her ways?
Silent treatment, refusing to eat with us, making scenes in public. She'd do anything to drive them away.
I see.
I really want to remarry soon, for Lucy's sake too. I think a girl her age needs a mother figure. And Sarah, you're such a wonderful person. I thought Lucy would surely like you.
Because I'm financially independent?
That, and because you're so patient and understanding.
We can't help the situation, but I believe that after 4 years, she'll understand how serious I am. I'm sure by then she'll bless our marriage. I want to marry you with Lucy's wholehearted acceptance.
4 years is a long time. Are you sure about that?
Are you worried I'll change my mind?
No, not at all. It's just...
Just what?
I don't want you to feel pressured by Lucy's demands.
Ken, I love you. That includes being patient with Lucy.
Me too, Sarah. Thank you for being so positive about this. I'll work hard too to help you and Lucy get along.
Actually, I have an idea about that.
An idea?
What if I helped with Lucy's college tuition?
What? But that's...
Just hear me out. I want to show her I care about her future.
But I can handle her expenses myself.
I know you can. This isn't about money. It's about showing Lucy I want to be part of her life.
Well, let me think about it. It's a big commitment.
Of course. We have 4 years to figure things out.
You really are amazing, you know that?
I just want both of you to be happy.
Hey, so you two really got married, huh? Dad just told me you registered your marriage.
Yes, you've graduated high school and you got into your first choice university and started living on your own, so Ken and I got married. But that was our agreement, wasn't it?
Yeah, but you should normally tell people beforehand. An after-the-fact announcement is unacceptable.
What are you talking about, Lucy? We tried to tell you about the marriage beforehand, but you refused to meet me, remember?
I was busy preparing for university.
For 4 years straight?
Well, that's...
Did you think we wouldn't get married if you didn't meet me?
You could have tried harder to contact me.
We never managed to become close, did we? Over these 4 years, I tried my best to build a relationship with you, but you never even met me once, right?
Of course not! Who would want to meet an old gold digger who's after Dad's money?
You're still saying that after 4 years?
Just because you waited doesn't mean anything.
Please stop calling me that. I've already proven I'm not after his money, and I proved it exactly the way you wanted.
That's... You must have been dating other men during these 4 years.
Why would you think that?
Because nobody would actually wait that long.
I waited 4 years to marry Ken because I want to marry him, not his money, and because I wanted to respect your feelings. So, after patiently waiting all this time, couldn't you try trusting me?
Trust you? As if. Shut up! I never thought you'd be so persistent. I thought you'd break up with Dad soon. At this rate, you'll steal all Dad's money.
I keep telling you, I don't care about the money.
Everyone says that at first.
And I've proved it for 4 years.
You... Fine. Time for my last resort. I'll never accept you.
Is that really your final answer?
Just wait and see what happens when I come home.
Lucy, think carefully about what you're planning to do.
Oh, I've thought about it plenty.
You might regret this.
The only thing I regret is not doing this sooner. So, you're moving into our house today, huh? Now that I've moved out to go to university, you must be thrilled about finally living alone with Dad.
Yes, I'm excited despite my age. Of course, Lucy, you're always welcome to visit.
Visit? This is still my home. You don't get to tell me when I can and can't come home.
Of course it is. I just meant...
Wow, acting like you own the place already. But your moving boxes aren't even in the house anymore.
What?
Check the trash area behind the house when you get back. That's where you'll find your stuff.
Lucy, what did you do?
As if I'd ever accept you as my mother. I threw out all the moving boxes you sent ahead.
What did you say?
I went through them too. Nice clothes you had there. Too bad about all the family photos.
Those photos were irreplaceable.
Now you can't live here with Dad. Come on. Surely you've had enough by now. I'll never accept you, so break up with Dad.
After I proved how serious I am by waiting 4 years, I can't believe you'd go this far. Even I'm starting to lose my patience.
Losing patience? Good, then leave. You waited 4 years for nothing. Once Dad realizes how much his daughter still objects, he'll surely cancel the marriage registration.
You really don't like me, do you?
What gave it away? The trashed belongings or 4 years of ignoring you?
I guess this means you won't ever warm up to me.
Obviously, there's nothing to like about you. Get out, you gold-digging hag. Go be a parasite in someone else's house. I threw out all your stuff.
Are you sure about this? Well, that's too bad.
Too bad for you, maybe.
I think you should think about what you've done.
Ha! Worry about yourself. Because you waited 4 years, you're now a 45-year-old lady, almost 50, right? You're practically a grandma.
Treating me like a grandma just because I'm in my 40s.
I'm in my sweet teens. Listen up. After you break up with Dad, don't ever come near us again. Go spend your lonely retirement years by yourself.
Well, good luck with your lonely college life without tuition or living expenses. I've already paid for your first semester, but you should start desperately saving up for next semester's tuition.
Huh? Wait, what are you talking about?
After that, you'll need to save for the following years, too. You got into a private university, so I expect that it'll be quite difficult to cover all the costs by yourself.
Wait, what do you mean? Hold on, my college tuition? You paid for it?
Yes, that's right. She paid for everything instead of me, your father, including all the costs for your apartment and living expenses.
Huh? Dad, why are you suddenly in this chat?
Lucy, how dare you trample on her feelings like this? What do you mean by throwing out her belongings? What have you done?
What? Dad, is that really you?
I told you today was her moving day, didn't I? I was waiting at the station to pick her up. Then she suddenly showed me her phone and I read all the text messages. What is the meaning of this?
You read everything? No way. Dad, I can explain.
Why did you throw out her belongings? Why are you so against our marriage? She proved she was serious about me by waiting 4 years just like you asked. What's wrong with you?
Well, that's...
I just don't like her isn't good enough anymore. You're not a grade schooler anymore.
But Dad, I was just trying to protect you.
Sarah has always thought about you. Even though you wouldn't get closer to her, she never stopped thinking about you. She's gonna be your mother when she marries me. She said that even if you hate her, she wants to fulfill her duties as a mother. That's why she insisted on paying for your tuition and living expenses.
Wait, Sarah suggested this herself?
Yes, she did. She said this is all I can do since she hates me. She didn't want to treat you badly no matter how much you avoided her. She said, I want to treasure her as your daughter and as my own.
No way! But why would she do that for someone who hates her?
Of course, I refused at first. It was too much to accept. Besides, I'm not struggling financially. You know your father's financial situation better than anyone, right?
Yeah, you got another promotion in these 4 years. You finally became an executive at your company.
Still, Sarah insisted on paying your tuition, and yet you! How could you? Throwing out her belongings? Who do you think you are? How could you do this to someone who waited 4 years to marry me because of your words?
Well...
Would you throw out your friends' belongings just because you don't like them? Would you throw out your teachers, seniors, or neighbors' belongings? Have you always lived so selfishly?
Of course not!
But that's exactly what you did to Sarah!
I didn't mean to.
If being my daughter makes you act this way, then there's only one solution. Lucy, as of today, you're no longer my daughter.
What? Dad, you can't mean that.
It's time for you to be independent. I wanted to see you through until your college graduation, but, well, you're 18 and legally an adult now. It's fine to cut ties today.
Cut ties? You're kidding, right? You're abandoning me? You're choosing that woman over me?
I'm not abandoning you. I've given up on you, on having such a foolish daughter.
What?
Like Sarah said, figure out your future tuition and living expenses by yourself. I'm no longer your father. Live independently with just your own strength.
You can't be serious. Dad, please, I'm sorry.
Goodbye then. Do your best with your new life in the city. Try not to shame your mother, who's watching from heaven.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Look, I'll bring your belongings back inside right now. So, could you just wait a bit before coming to the house? Then maybe the three of us could have coffee together or something.
Don't bother with the belongings. Leave them where they are. We're going to live in a new house anyway.
What? But I can clean everything.
The damage is already done.
Huh? Wait, a different house?
Yes, Ken told me that we should just live together in a new place, just the two of us. He thinks that you might keep showing up to bother us if we stay at the old house.
No, please! Dad's moving too? Then what happens to this house?
We might put it up for sale. By the way, could you throw out Ken's belongings too? Throw everything away, including all the furniture and appliances. He says he doesn't need any of it. We're going to enjoy our fresh start.
You can't sell my home!
It's Ken's house, and he's already looking at new properties.
What?
Though it's amazing how stubborn Ken can be sometimes. He insists on replacing all my belongings that you threw away. I keep telling him I don't need that since I earn as much as he does.
Wait, you earn as much as Dad? My dad's a corporate executive.
Well, I work at the same company as Ken, with the same position.
What? You're a corporate executive too? That's impossible. Dad never mentioned.
Actually, I became an executive before him. I was the one who recommended Ken for the executive position. Of course, I recommended him because he was qualified, not because of our relationship.
Really? Why didn't anyone tell me this before?
You never asked. You were too busy assuming I was after your father's money. So you see, I have no interest in his assets. Rather than depending on others, I prefer to earn my own money. That's my motto.
No way! I was so sure you were just after Dad's money.
Oh, sorry, Lucy. Ken's saying we should go look at properties right now. He's already found several places to check out in just these few minutes. He's always so efficient, even with things like this.
Please wait. Don't go yet. Could you put Dad back on the phone? He won't answer any of my calls.
I'm sorry, but I can't help with that.
What? Please, just let me talk to him for a minute.
He's absolutely adamant about not contacting you anymore. I can't undermine the resolve of the man I love.
No. Can't you convince him, please?
More importantly, Lucy, you should start looking for a part-time job quickly. I'm serious about not paying any more of your tuition.
You're kidding, right? This is a pretty serious crisis for me, isn't it?
Not just pretty serious, it's absolutely dire, but I'm sure you can manage with your power of youth, as you put it. Well, let's both do our best with our new lives.
Sarah, please, I made a mistake.
Yes, you did. Several of them, over 4 years. Goodbye, Lucy.
Please help me. I couldn't save up enough for next semester's tuition. At this rate, I'll have to take a leave of absence.
Hello, Lucy. It's been a while.
I've been working 3 part-time jobs.
I see. Well, why don't you take a break and start working? You can return to school once you've saved enough money.
What? I tried my best for 6 months and you still won't help me?
Have you spoken with your father?
You know he won't talk to me. It's already been months since all that happened.
Only 6 months and you're already giving up? When I worked hard for 4 years and you still wouldn't accept me.
I'll apologize for that. I'm really sorry. So please pay for my tuition, please?
No can do. If you're that desperate, ask your father.
I can't get in touch with him. He ignores my messages, never answers my calls. No matter how much I beg, he won't take back the disownment.
Is that so? He never talks about you, so I didn't know.
Never talks about me? At all?
We've been quite busy with our new life.
I'm so sorry for assuming you were just after money. I apologize from the bottom of my heart, so please forgive me. I'll treasure you from now on. I can even call you Mom. I'll even take care of you when you're old.
Now you want to call me Mom?
I mean it this time.
You think that would sway my feelings? Lucy, you really don't understand anything.
Huh? What don't I understand? Tell me.
You still think everything can be fixed with simple words.
Then what should I do? I'll do anything.
I'll tell him that you contacted me, but that's all. I won't try to persuade him at all. I'm just passing along the information. Well, good luck graduating college.
Wait, don't go!
I reported to Ken that Lucy had contacted me, but he said that no matter what happens, he won't help her and doesn't want to know about her. According to rumors, Lucy ended up not taking a leave of absence, but dropping out of university entirely. She said, I couldn't make any friends anyway because I was always working, and I couldn't keep up with classes, so I'm not going anymore at this point. I'll use my youth to marry a rich man and turn my life around. That's my only option now. At just 18 years old, she's seriously trying to find a wealthy husband. However, she only attracts terrible men who are drawn to her youth. She keeps getting involved with sketchy guys and getting further and further away from marriage.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
David, are you feeling okay? Has your fever gone down?
Oh, thanks for worrying, Sarah. I still have a fever and feel awful, but I think I'll feel better by tonight.
You still have a fever? Maybe I should come visit. I can bring some drinks and something you might be able to eat.
Actually, I already took some medicine. I should be fine.
Are you sure? I made some soup this morning. It wouldn't be any trouble.
I appreciate the thought, but I'll pass. I'd feel terrible if I gave you my cold. It'll get better if I just rest quietly. I'll text you as soon as my fever goes down.
That's strange. You never turn down my soup when you're sick.
I just want to sleep it off this time.
Okay, in that case, could you text me after my sister Mia leaves? I'll be waiting at a cafe nearby.
Huh?
Since you're probably not thinking clearly due to your affair fever, just message me when your home date is over and you've calmed down.
Wait, what do you mean by home date?
You don't have to pretend anymore. I saw her go in.
Sarah, you must be mistaken.
Am I saying something wrong? You canceled our date claiming you're sick. But somehow, you managed to secretly bring my sister to your place.
How do you know about that?
Actually, I was just at the lobby of your apartment building until a moment ago.
What?
I know you always forget to take medicine when you're sick.
You didn't need to come?
I was sad about the canceled date, but I was worried about you, so I thought I'd quietly leave a care package at your door without bothering you. But then, I saw Mia going into your building.
No way!
I had a bad feeling, so I quietly followed her. And sure enough, she went into your apartment. I could even hear her sugary, sweet, "I missed you" voice from outside the door.
Damn it, I can't believe we got caught like this. We'd been so careful until now.
How long has this been going on? So this isn't the first time.
Look, it just happened.
So you admit to the affair.
Yeah, that's right. Making lame excuses isn't my style, so I'll proudly admit it.
With my own sister? How could you both do this to me?
It is what it is.
A truly proud man wouldn't cheat in the first place. Anyway, let's talk about where we go from here. Can you both come out right now? I'm waiting at the cafe. I want you to apologize properly to my face.
Wait a minute. Why should we apologize to you?
What?
You're acting like we committed some terrible crime.
because you did! You betrayed my trust!
I've decided I only apologize to people above me in status. There's no way I'm gonna say I'm sorry to someone like you.
Status? What are you even talking about? This isn't about status.
You wouldn't understand. Someone at my level has different standards.
Can you even hear yourself? You did something hurtful, so you should apologize to me. You owe me that much.
Shut up. It's your fault for being the kind of woman who gets cheated on with her own sister. I did nothing wrong, and I'm definitely not apologizing.
Excuse me?
You're too clingy, always checking on me, bringing me things. It's suffocating.
So caring about you is a fault now?
Besides, I just went along with your sister's advances. Anyway, now that the affair is exposed, I'm breaking up with you, and that's fine, right? Talking things through is a hassle, so let's just say goodbye like this.
You can't be.
What, gonna cry about it?
After 2 years together, this is how you end it?
I'll throw away your stuff that's in my apartment. See ya!
Don't you dare throw away my things. I'll come get them myself.
Don't bother. I don't want to see you again.
You're a coward, David. A real coward.
Whatever helps you sleep at night. We're done here.
Sarah, are you okay? Don't tell me you're still crying your eyes out at the cafe.
I can't believe you have the nerve to message me.
You should go home. It's embarrassing.
Huh?
A woman in her early 30s crying alone. The staff and other customers must be really freaked out. Sorry I couldn't come comfort you right away. You just wouldn't let go of me.
I'm not crying, and I don't need your comfort.
There's no need to act tough. I know you're hurting.
The only thing that hurts is realizing what kind of sister I have.
Playing tough, huh? That's why you get cheated on. You're not cute enough.
How dare you try and turn this around?
It was bound to happen eventually. You're too serious for him.
Don't you dare! According to David, you were the one who came on to him. Why would you hit on your sister's boyfriend?
Does it matter who started it? What's done is done.
It matters to me. We're sisters.
Well, when you ask why, I just stole him because he's a good catch.
What?
Come on, you must have known he was too good for you.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
It's survival of the fittest. When you find a good man, you have to take him, even if he has a girlfriend. I draw the line at married men, of course, but you guys weren't even engaged, so it's fair game.
That's completely unethical. Use your common sense.
Oh, please, like you wouldn't do the same.
No, I wouldn't, because I have morals.
But I really want to get married soon, too. Everyone around me is getting married lately, and I got jealous and wanted to get married quickly, too. I was looking for a good man, but I didn't want to rush in to marry some mediocre guy. Then I realized I should just marry the best man in my circle.
And that happened to be your sister's boyfriend?
Of course, he was right there.
You could have found someone else, anyone else.
Yeah, David is an elite employee at a famous company, and he's getting promoted faster than anyone in his year. Plus, his annual salary is easily over $150K. Isn't that amazing?
So that's what makes a good man in your eyes?
Don't act like you weren't dating him for the same reasons.
I loved him for who he was, not his salary.
I'm not really interested in looks or muscles. What matters is how smart they are and how much they earn. And above all, David lives in this amazing luxury high-rise. Of course I wanted to steal him.
What pathetic reasons?
You're just bitter because I succeeded.
Succeeded at what? Being a horrible person?
Those pathetic reasons were enough for me to steal him from you, and for you to lose to me, Sarah.
What did you say?
Face it, he chose me over you.
He didn't choose you. You both chose to betray me.
I can't believe he switched from you to me so quickly and threw you away. He's already asked me to move in with him. At this rate, marriage is just around the corner. Everyone's going to be so jealous.
You both seem to be in quite the celebratory mood. Neither you nor David has apologized to me even once. I'm beyond anger. I'm just disappointed.
David said we don't need to apologize. Instead, I'll be happy enough for your share too.
And you actually agree with him? That I don't deserve an apology?
Stop being so dramatic. It's just a boyfriend.
He wasn't just a boyfriend. He was someone I trusted. And you were my sister.
Were? Don't be like that. Everyone else will be so happy for us. You should just accept reality and be happy for us too.
Go ahead and try if you can. Don't think that a trashy couple who betrays people so easily will have a smooth sailing relationship.
You're just jealous of our happiness.
Happiness built on betrayal won't last.
Wow, what a pathetic sore loser. You shouldn't waste time with that. Sarah, you better hurry and find another man or you'll miss your chance to get married.
Unlike you, I don't need to steal someone else's partner to get married.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, sis.
Don't call me sis. You lost that right.
Hey, Sarah, listen to this. Lately, this old hag at work has been treating me terribly. She must have heard somewhere that I got an amazing boyfriend. She's just jealous and taking it out on me.
What?
You're the only one I can talk to about this.
Interesting how I'm suddenly useful to you.
She gets angry over every little thing, like being late. Today, she yelled at me for over an hour.
You wouldn't get yelled at if you weren't late. Don't message me about such trivial things.
But it's not my fault. The building is too tall.
What are you talking about?
I'm trying my best not to be late. I set like 10 alarms to wake up. But it just takes so long waiting for the elevator.
Excuse me?
You don't understand how hard it is.
Hard to get to work on time like everyone else?
You know, I already started living with David in the luxury high-rise. The view is amazing and the apartment is huge. It's perfect. But living in a high-rise has its problems too. Who knew elevators would have a rush hour too?
Did you actually use that ridiculous excuse at work?
Of course I did. I had to explain that it wasn't my fault. But that old hag just got even more angry. It was so scary. She's just jealous that her young, cute junior is living with her boyfriend in a luxury high-rise.
I'm pretty sure that's not why she got angry.
She's definitely jealous. You should see how fancy it is here.
Are you messaging me just to brag?
No, I need advice. How do I handle her?
Try showing up on time.
High-rise living is more tiring than I thought, so I asked David if we could move. But he said no because living in a high-rise is proof of his success. Men are like that, you know, though that kind of thing makes them even more adorable and amazing.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. I thought you were complaining, but somehow it turned into bragging about your high-rise apartment.
What? I'm not bragging at all. I'm just talking about how high-rise living is more difficult than I imagined. I guess only people who've experienced living in a high-rise would understand instead of thinking it's bragging. That's why I thought maybe you, as David's ex, would understand the struggles.
What?
Oh, sorry. You only visited a few times on weekends, right? You've never actually lived together in a luxury high-rise, so you wouldn't understand these difficulties. That was so insensitive of me.
You really have a talent for making people angry.
I don't want that kind of talent. I just want to stop being late. It's so hard getting down to the first floor from the high-rise. I'm always late to work, so maybe I should just quit.
From the 3rd floor?
Huh?
If you're having trouble making it from the 3rd floor to the 1st floor, why don't you just use the stairs? From the 3rd floor, that would definitely be faster. Even though it's a luxury high-rise, you moved from the highest floor to the 3rd floor, so it should be much easier to get downstairs now. Oh, you could even dive out the window! From the 3rd floor, you wouldn't get too hurt, and you'd definitely make it to work on time.
Wait a minute. How do you know about the 3rd floor? I haven't told anyone about that.
Because I'm now living in the upper floor apartment where David used to live.
What?
Must be quite a shock.
We're lying. That's impossible. How do you know all this? And what do you mean you're living in that apartment now? What's going on?
After that, the building owner told me David and Mia moved to a 3rd floor apartment. Apparently, they couldn't handle the rent increase, but didn't want to give up living in the high-rise, so they ended up moving to the 3rd floor.
Why would he tell you that?
Does it matter? Nothing changes the fact that you were lying and putting on airs.
What did you say?
Pretending to be a high-floor resident and trying to act superior to people at work and to me. How embarrassing can you get?
Well, that's...
Instead of making excuses, try waking up earlier so you won't be late. See you.
Wait, you can't just drop this bomb and leave?
Watch me.
Hey, Sarah! Is it true that you're living in my old apartment?
Yes, that's right. It feels really weird living in the apartment where my ex betrayed me, but they did a thorough cleaning, and more importantly, the rent of $1,000 a month is really attractive.
What? Why is the rent so cheap? It's even cheaper than when I was renting it!
Is something wrong with that?
This doesn't make any sense!
The owner is very generous.
He's not. Right after breaking up with you, the owner contacted me about a rent increase from $1,500 to $4,500 a month. Even I couldn't afford that kind of rent, so I had to move to the 3rd floor. What's going on here?
That must have been quite a shock for you.
Did you have something to do with this? Did you bribe him?
Hey, David, the way you're talking makes the owner sound like a crooked landlord. The rent didn't increase. It just went back to the normal rate. The discount just ended, that's all.
How do you know about that? I never told anyone that I was renting that apartment at a special price of $1,500. The owner told me not to tell anyone.
Actually, I was involved in the reason for that special price. You see, I know the building owner.
What?
Surprised?
There's no way.
Well, we met by chance. I helped the owner when he collapsed in front of the building. It was just heat exhaustion, nothing serious, but everyone else who passed by ignored him. Probably thinking that he was just another old person who had fallen over and would eventually get up on his own. But he was really grateful that I helped, calling me their lifesaver. You never wondered why your rent was so cheap?
I thought I was just lucky.
At first, he wanted to give me a reward, but I refused. When the owner insisted on doing something, I joked, well, you could give my boyfriend a discount on his rent, and he said, leave it to me.
Wait. So that winning letter was all set up by the owner? I used to live on the 3rd floor, and suddenly I got a letter from the owner saying I'd won the right to move to an upper floor.
Remember how excited you were?
Don't tell me!
I asked the owner to do that too. I know you have a big ego, so I asked him not to mention my name. I figured you wouldn't want to live in an apartment that was cheap because of me. But I never expected him to create such an elaborate winning letter. The owner's quite playful, isn't he?
No way! I thought it was thanks to my own good karma. I was thrilled to move because they said they'd rent me a $4,500 upper floor apartment for just $1,500. But that was all thanks to you?
Originally, the discount was just for your third-floor apartment, but the owner offered the upper-floor apartment too. He said we'd want a bigger place when we got engaged and married.
No!
Funny how things work out.
This can't be happening!
That's why I reported to the owner right after we broke up. I said, since we broke up, we'll never live together. I'm sorry for wasting your kindness.
So that's why the rent immediately went back to the original price! It's your fault I had to move back to the third floor!
What do you mean, fault? You got to live in a nice apartment thanks to me. It just went back to normal. If you want the upper floor apartment that badly, you can just pay the regular rent.
Don't be ridiculous! The regular rent is $4,500 a month! I can't pay that even if I wanted to!
Not such a big shot after all, are you?
You knew I couldn't afford that!
Then it's your own fault you moved to the third floor. That's why the owner offered me the apartment. They said, since it's vacant now, would you like to live here? I'll give you a big discount on the rent. It's almost too generous.
No way! That was my apartment! Everyone at work was so envious! And now they'll know the truth!
You two are such a handful. Mia pretends she lives on an upper floor while hiding that she's on the third floor. And you're trying to blame me and lash out. I don't even want to interact with the couple who got together through cheating. Goodbye.
Wait! Hey, could you ask the owner something for me? Ask if they could rent me another vacant upper floor apartment, and if possible, give me the same service and make the rent around $1,000.
What?
Please, Sarah, for old time's sake.
Why would I do that?
Well, living on the third floor doesn't really suit me. The view isn't as good as the upper floors, and there's all this stress. So please, Sarah, for old time's sake and your friendship with the owner...
Don't get cocky.
Huh?
Why should I do any favors for my ex who dumped me? Especially someone so horrible who left me for my sister. If you want a cheap upper floor apartment that badly, go ask the owner yourself. Goodbye.
Sarah, wait, I'm sorry about everything!
Too late for that now.
I've had enough. I'm breaking up with David. I don't want anything to do with a man who gets angry and slaps me.
A slap? That's quite violent.
You have to help me, Sarah.
Now you want my help?
I got yelled at and blamed for everything. Poor me.
What do you mean, everything? What happened?
It all went wrong after he found out about the apartment.
Go on.
David told me about your connection to the upper floor apartment, how it was cheap thanks to you. So we went to directly negotiate with the owner. We asked them to rent us an upper floor apartment as a discount too.
Wow, you actually went to ask.
I thought they'd understand.
Understand what? Your entitlement?
But of course, the owner refused, and apparently, David made things worse by dropping his workplace's name during the request. The owner said he knew David's company's president. The owner said they'd tell the president about what David had demanded.
What? Why did David mention his workplace?
He thought he could intimidate them.
That was incredibly stupid of him.
David was called in by the president himself the next day. Apparently, he got chewed out really badly. Turns out that the owner is an important shareholder in the company. He got scolded for being shameless enough to try negotiating rent with such an important person. David got transferred to some remote island.
David, who was the fastest rising star among his peers, even though he worked so hard.
This is all your fault.
My fault? How exactly?
If you hadn't told us about the apartment,
then you would have kept lying.
Then he took it all out on me, said nothing good has happened since he started dating me. But it's the same for me too. Nothing good has happened since I moved in with David.
Really? Everything's falling apart. Actions have consequences. Yeah, it's the worst. And then I suddenly got fired from work. They said I had too many late arrivals and my work attitude was terrible. So I'm done at the end of this month. That old hag must have tattled to upper management. Well, that senior colleague didn't do anything wrong. This is awful. Everything's going wrong since I started dating David. I'm breaking up with him. Let me stay at your place, Sarah. Are you kidding me? How did you suddenly arrive at that conclusion? Where else could I go? Anywhere but here. Why do you even want to stay with me? Go stay with Mom and Dad. Because it's frustrating. That old hag laughed at me saying, "Didn't you say you wanted to quit once you get married?" She even doubted whether I really lived in the high-rise upper floors. I at least want to show her proof photos before I quit. Still worried about appearances? My reputation is ruined. You're always focused on such trivial things. I won't let you into my apartment. And I don't want anything to do with you anymore. Just give up and admit that you actually live on the 3rd floor. What? You won't help when your sister is begging? Sister? That's rich coming from you. I know I messed up. I don't have a sister who would steal her sister's boyfriend. Goodbye. No, wait, Sarah. Please don't abandon me. I'll apologize for stealing David. I want to live on the upper floors too. You still don't get it. I'm sorry, I really am. You're just sorry you got caught. Please, Sarah, I have nowhere else to go. You should have thought about that before betraying me. After a while, David and Mia moved to a different apartment building. I ran into them once in the lobby. It was an awkward moment when they came down the stairs just as I was getting out of the elevator. They moved out a few days after that encounter, so I guess something must have clicked in their minds. From now on, I want to work hard so I can afford to pay the regular rent with my own ability without relying on the owner's kindness.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
Emily, where are you going with my stuff?
Outside, where it belongs.
What? Stop! Emily, give me back my clothes! Why would you suddenly throw all my clothes and stuff outside? I can't go home like this! I'll get arrested!
You don't need to go home. Just stay in there with Jake. I can't believe you cheated with my boyfriend and in the house we share. I'm calling both our parents right now.
Wait, you're overreacting. Let's talk about this.
Overreacting? I just caught you with my fiancé in our house.
It just happened. We didn't plan it.
Don't lie to me. That's not going to mean anything when Mom and Dad get here.
Why are you calling our parents?
Because they need to know what kind of daughter they raised. Jake and I were engaged and planning our wedding for the end of the year. We were preparing everything, and then this happens. How could Jake cheat on me, and with my sister of all people? How could you both do this to me? We need to discuss this with everyone, including our parents.
You're being dramatic. Just relax, will you? Can't we handle this between us?
You really think I can calm down after finding you with my fiancé?
This is so annoying. Don't get so worked up over a little cheating. It's not like this is the first time, right?
You're right. This is the 4th time you've stolen my boyfriend.
Wow, you've actually been keeping count.
Of course I have. How could I forget? First was Tom in high school.
Ancient history.
Then Matt in college.
He wasn't even that serious about you.
Then David last year.
Okay, I get it.
What are you trying to accomplish? You're always getting in my way.
Do you have some kind of grudge against me? Not at all. You're my amazing big sister and I love you. What? You're so smart with your fancy degree, great at your job, make good money, and even with your busy schedule, you stay fit and look amazing. So no, I don't have a grudge, and I love you, but you just kind of piss me off. I piss you off? Do you know how hard it is being your little sister? What does that have to do with stealing my fiancé? Everything! You're too perfect. It's boring. I think someone as perfect as you should have at least some flaws, like having your sister steal your boyfriend every time you fall in love. Ha ha ha! What? You've been stealing my boyfriends for a stupid reason like that? It's not stupid. It's funny, isn't it? No, it's cruel. Do you know how much it hurts when people important to me stab me in the back like it's nothing? Oh, come on. You'll find someone else, and then I'll steal them. But that's just how things go in our family. This is ridiculous. To think I've been hurt and betrayed so many times for such an idiotic reason. What the hell is wrong with you? OMG! It's so hilarious seeing my always cool sister completely lose it. You think this is funny? I was planning my wedding. You were planning way too early anyway. The wedding wasn't for months. Calling our parents was definitely the right move. I'm too angry to have a rational conversation right now. Oh, great. Mom and Dad are blowing up my phone with calls and messages. This is all your fault for telling on me. Good. Let them know what their precious baby girl has been up to. They're saying they're coming over. This isn't fair. Not fair? Like stealing your sister's fiancé? Fine, I'll stay and participate in this little talk. But you better replace the clothes you threw out. I'm not wearing clothes covered in dirt. You owe me. I owe you? After what you did? They were designer clothes. Get out of my sight before I throw you out with them.
Hey.
What do you want?
Emily, I transferred the settlement money to your account like you asked. No more complaints now, right?
Let me check. Yes, I got it. With this, our engagement is officially over.
Finally! This whole thing has been such a pain.
A pain for you?
Come on, you didn't have to involve our parents.
You were engaged to me and cheating with my sister. What did you expect? But now that our engagement is over, you can do whatever the hell you want.
Sweet! I can date Sarah without anyone complaining.
What? You're still planning to date her after everything that happened?
Of course, why wouldn't I?
After all the drama you caused? After what our parents said?
Yeah, I got chewed up by my parents and even got punched. But at this point, might as well commit to it. Besides, we only have each other now. Plus, when it comes to passion.
Huh?
What we have is real. Sarah understands me better than you ever did.
After dating for what, 2 weeks?
Listen, we took responsibility for our actions, so no one has any right to complain about what we do from now on. Don't contact me again.
As if I would.
And one more thing.
What now?
Also, don't hold a grudge against Sarah just because you're bitter about losing me.
Losing you? Is that what you think this is about?
Well, isn't it? You're just jealous that Sarah and I are happy together.
Sure, I'm angry, but I'm not interested enough to hold a grudge. I don't even want to see Sarah's face or think about her anymore. Do whatever you want. Date whoever you want.
Don't forget what you said.
Trust me, I won't forget any of this, but I don't care what either of you do anymore.
You say that now, but I know you're just acting tough.
You really don't get it, do you?
Get what?
Then I'm disgusted by both of you.
Whatever. Sarah's waiting for me. Have a nice life.
Blocking you now. Emily, are you there? Who is this? Your sister. Did you delete my number? I deleted everything about you. Have you been well? What do you want, Sarah? Why are you suddenly contacting me? Things were finally settling down. Don't be so cold. We're still sisters. Sisters don't do what you did. Actually, I have some important news for you. Jake and I are finally getting married.
You two are still together?
What's with that tone? Did you think we'd break up? Or were you hoping that we would this entire time?
I hadn't thought about you at all.
Honestly, I thought we'd break up quickly too, but Jake is surprisingly devoted. He really seems to love me and treats me so well.
Well, good for you.
You don't sound very happy for me.
What did you expect?
And now we're having a baby. That's why we decided to get married.
A baby? You're pregnant with Jake's child?
Yes, isn't it wonderful?
You're really doing this.
I'm already in my second trimester, so we're planning to register our marriage soon. We're having the wedding ceremony this month. My bump isn't showing much yet, so I can still wear a dress.
What? You're even having a ceremony?
Of course! Why wouldn't we?
After everything that happened?
That's why I wanted to apologize to you. That's why I went out of my way to contact you. Who would have thought I'd get married before my perfect sister? You must feel so pathetic and embarrassed. Sorry about that.
What?
Don't you remember how Mom always said you'd be the first to walk down the aisle?
That doesn't matter to me.
Everyone, including our parents and relatives, always said you'd be the first to get married. Look how the tables have turned. Your dropout sister beat you to it.
I really don't care about any of that. It doesn't bother me at all.
Really? Not even a little bit?
No.
Stop acting tough. For Miss Perfect like you, losing to me must be... Oh, deep down, you must be a mess of jealousy and envy.
What?
I bet you're dying inside.
You're delusional.
And guess what? I'm having my wedding at the same venue you were going to use. That's why we're coming back to our hometown for the wedding.
Oh, is that so? The exact same venue?
Isn't it perfect, using your venue?
You really have no shame.
After everything happened, it was hard to stay in town, so Jake and I moved away. But it's been a year now, so coming back shouldn't be a problem, right? Everyone should welcome us back with congratulations for the wedding and baby, right?
What?
The whole town will be talking about us.
They certainly will.
Of course, to live up to those expectations, we're going all out with the wedding at the same venue where you were supposed to have yours, and we're even upgrading it to be fancier than what you planned.
You're spending that much money?
Jake got a promotion so we can afford it.
I see.
And I'm wearing the same wedding dress you wanted. We're inviting lots of parents and friends. Everyone will be there to celebrate with us.
Everyone, huh? A big wedding sounds nice, and you can do whatever you want. But do you really think people will come to your wedding?
Of course they will. We're a super cute couple who fought for true love. Everyone will definitely come when they're invited to such a romantic wedding.
True love, huh?
What else would you call it?
I can think of a few things.
Even if it started with stealing someone's fiancé, the end result is all that matters. If we get married, it becomes a beautiful story of fighting for true love. And now we're even having a baby. It would be crazy not to celebrate this.
I see. Now I understand how you can be so delusionally optimistic.
Are you being sarcastic because you're jealous?
What?
You totally are! This is exactly why I'm inviting you!
What are you talking about?
Don't worry, I'll invite you too. You want to see the venue and dress you were supposed to have, right? If you really want to come, you can.
Are you really planning to do this at the venue I plan to use?
Huh?
To the venue. Are you really planning to go there?
Of course. Why wouldn't I?
It's fine to be in your own little fantasy world, but have you thought this through at all? You're really planning to come back to town so boldly and using my planned venue. Don't blame me for whatever happens.
Huh? What do you mean?
You're using the wedding venue I was supposed to have, right? Actually, that venue is run by my friend.
What?
To be specific, my friend's family owns it, and she works there as a wedding planner, taking over the family business. Of course, she was really sad when my engagement and wedding were canceled. Actually, she was even angrier about what you two did than I was. You're pretty brave to have your wedding there.
No way!
By the way, I wanted to ask, you're only copying the venue and dress, right? You haven't copied anything else from my plans, have you?
Huh? I copied everything from your plans.
Everything?
Since they said we could use outside catering, I booked the same Italian restaurant you were going to use. I also hired the same florist and photographer you plan to use. Copied everything.
You've got to be kidding. Those people are all my friends too.
What? Really?
I have quite a few friends, and they were all kind enough to want to help with my wedding, each offering their expertise in different areas. That's how I was planning my wedding.
But that wedding was canceled because of me, and now the person who caused the cancellation is asking for their services again. That's pretty bad, isn't it?
Well, they'll probably handle it professionally since it's work, but that's all it will be. Just business. I wonder what they're really thinking deep down inside.
No.
And about our parents and relatives coming, even if you're having a baby, it's only been a year since your affair that made both sets of parents furious. Jake's parents were so angry, they collapsed. Do you really think just 1 year is enough for them to forgive and forget?
Stop saying scary things! Of course they'll come. They have to. I'll be in trouble if they don't.
Well, I won't be attending your wedding, so have fun without me, and give my regards to Jake.
Emily, please answer. I know you're there. This is an emergency. Emily, what should I do? Nobody came to the wedding today.
What? Nobody? Not even our parents?
No, I've been waiting for 2 hours. The ceremony was supposed to start an hour ago. Neither my parents nor Jake's parents. No one came, not even a single friend.
Did you even send out invitations? Did you get any RSVPs?
I sent them 3 weeks ago.
And?
Nobody responded.
Then of course no one would come.
But usually people RSVP yes or no, right? Since there were no responses, doesn't that mean they might come?
It means they didn't think it was worth responding to.
That can't be true. They're just running late, right?
After an hour? Stop deluding yourself.
But your friend, the wedding planner, worked so hard.
What?
She was so nice to me. I was worried when no one responded, so I asked her about it. I said, even without RSVPs, lots of people will come on the day, right? And she said, let's hope so. That means she must have encouraged people to come, right? She must have tried to convince them to attend, right?
Of course not. Basic customer service is about making clients feel at ease. She was just being professional.
What? But she seemed so sincere.
Asking the planner to encourage guests to come? That's ridiculous. Use your common sense. No planner would ever do that.
No. The catering staff is starting to pack up. The photographer is asking if we want to cancel.
Well, what did you expect?
I can't do this. There's no way I could enjoy it. Please, Emily, can you at least come to our wedding?
What?
Actually, I think everything would be fine if you just came. I'm sure everyone's just being considerate of you, and that's why they're not coming. If you came, I'm sure everyone else would come too. I'll apologize for stealing Jake and everything. Let's make up at the wedding venue.
Are you serious right now?
Please, I'll do anything.
Absolutely not. I don't want to make up, and I never want to see either of your faces again.
What? But we're sisters. Family should forgive each other.
It's too late for apologies, and I don't want to forgive you, so just give up on everything.
That can't be true. Emily, please. The venue staff is asking us to leave.
Well, goodbye.
Emily, please answer. We need to talk. I want to get back together with you right now. Come on, you must want to get back together with me too, right?
What did you just say?
We made a huge mistake.
Don't message me.
Oh, I guess you don't feel the same way?
Are you drunk?
No, I'm serious.
Getting back together with you is out of the question. I haven't thought about it for even a second.
Yeah, I figured. You're still angry with me, right?
Why on earth would you even want to get back together with me? You just had your wedding with Sarah yesterday.
About that. We canceled yesterday's wedding. How could we have a ceremony with no one there?
You canceled it? After all that preparation?
The venue was empty. It was humiliating. I never thought absolutely no one would come. I think there wasn't a single person who would celebrate with us. I couldn't even fake a smile. And Sarah broke down crying, so we canceled.
Oh my.
Even my own parents ignored us. And since we canceled on the day, we can't get our money back. I tried desperately negotiating with the venue and vendors, but none of them would budge.
Well, they're all my friends. Of course none of them would negotiate with you.
Can't you talk to them?
Excuse me?
Come on, we just threw a fortune down the drain. We spent everything we had. Help us out, will you?
I'm not going to sympathize with you. Nobody wants to celebrate a wedding between cheaters. For you to have your spirit broken by such an obvious outcome and then come crawling back to your ex? Stop saying stupid things and work things out with Sarah. You're about to be a father, for heaven's sake.
Then I'll be a good father. So will you be the mother? After Sarah has the baby, I'll bring the child with me. Even if we can't get back together as lovers, maybe we could be a family. Me, you, and the baby.
Are you kidding? Are you seriously saying this?
I know it sounds crazy, but I finally realized I can't make it without you. I ran away to Sarah because she was easy to be with, but I really need you.
What?
Remember how good we were together?
Before you cheated, you mean?
I really did love you, Emily. You're so perfect at work and in your private life. Just being with you made me feel pressured every day. I ran away to Sarah, who's really easygoing.
She's my complete opposite, right? Always carefree and only doing what's fun.
Yes, exactly. But I realized that's not enough. I ran away from you and started dating Sarah, but she talks her way out of anything difficult. She dumps everything on me. Actually, we've been arguing more and more.
Oh, really?
She can't handle any responsibility. Then she got pregnant and I had to take responsibility by marrying her. And I regret everything. Unlike you, she's messy and lazy. Can't imagine raising a child with Sarah. But I think I could do it with you, Emily.
Don't you dare! Stop trying to drag me, someone who's no longer involved, into this! You selfish, worthless piece of garbage!
I'm just being honest.
Now you want to dump your problems on me? You just want to dump everything on me because you think I can manage, and I probably could too. But listen here, I didn't just automatically become perfect like you and Sarah say I am. It's the result of my hard work. How dare you feel pressured, run away, betray me, and then try to come back when it's convenient for you?
Please?
I'm getting a headache from how angry I am. Well, I guess I'll just have to block you. Forcibly create some physical distance between us, because I'm sick of you both.
What? You can't!
Now I'll never have to see your face or think about you again. Have a nice life.
No, wait! Wait! I'm really sorry! I want to live with you again! Hey, did you really block me? Everyone, parents, friends, they're all ignoring my messages, and now you're disappearing from my life too? Damn it! Why is Sarah all I have left?
According to rumors, Sarah and Jake's wedding cost about $50,000 in total. Of course, with no wedding gifts or money from guests, they paid everything from their savings. Because of this, they're barely scraping by just trying to save for the baby's delivery costs. Sarah, who dreamed of a happy family life, had a complete meltdown when she had to buy secondhand baby items. Apparently, Jake also finally snapped after getting tired of dealing with Sarah's daily tantrums. I hear their newlywed life is absolutely miserable.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
How could you, Emily? This was supposed to be the happiest day of my life, and you've ruined everything!
What?
After all the time I spent planning this perfect day, I can't believe you would do this to me!
I don't understand what you're talking about.
Why did you cancel last minute? Even if we're only in-laws, we're still sisters. How could you skip your husband's sister's wedding like that?
Wait a minute, I didn't cancel last minute. I never even RSVP'd. Don't just assume I was coming.
Are you serious? You think you need an RSVP for family? I had a place card made for you and everything. I even arranged the seating chart considering you. Do you know how much work that was?
You made those arrangements without even checking with me first? I never had any intention of attending.
What? It's a family wedding. Of course you're supposed to come. You don't need to RSVP to family weddings.
Excuse me?
You're my family now, even if you're just a sister-in-law. It's absolutely awful not to come to a relative's wedding. Everyone kept asking where you were. Do you know how embarrassing that was?
I don't attend strangers' weddings.
What?
Remember those words? That's exactly what you said to me before. That's why I didn't come to your wedding either.
What did you say? Are you bringing up ancient history right now, on my wedding day?
Even if we're sisters-in-law, we're just strangers in the end. There's no need to go to a stranger's wedding. Isn't that what you said, Sarah? That's why you canceled on mine and Jack's wedding 5 years ago, right?
Well, that was completely different. You can't compare those situations.
And what you did was even worse than what I did. You actually RSVP'd, yes. We prepared your seat and meal and everything, and then you canceled the day of. We had to pay for your meal that went to waste, you know.
So this is revenge for something that happened 5 years ago? You're still hung up on that?
It may have been 5 years ago, but I still remember how hurt I was. I wanted all our family, relatives, and friends to celebrate with us. But just having one person missing was enough to make me so depressed.
I had no choice back then. I had my reasons.
Reasons? You mean you just couldn't stand that I was getting married before you? You admitted yourself that you just got angry and canceled out of spite.
You don't understand how hard it was for me then. If something makes me angry, that's just how it is. Here I was desperately trying to find someone, getting rejected 20 times in a row, and then my little brother and his girlfriend just casually get married. Of course I couldn't bring myself to celebrate that.
Then you should have just said that and declined properly. Not RSVP yes and then cancel last minute. And you made all those excuses on the day too, saying our wedding looked too cheap to be worth attending.
Well, I was just upset. You can't hold words said in anger against me forever.
Every word you said hurt me deeply. When I finally learned it was just pure jealousy, I was too stunned to even respond. That's when I swore I'd never attend the wedding of someone who could do something like that.
But it was 5 years ago. People change. I've grown since then. I thought we could move past this and be real sisters now.
Then you should understand that what you did was unforgivable, even after all this time. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Fine, be that way. But don't think this is over. You'll regret treating family like this.
Family doesn't hurt family the way you hurt me.
Phew! My sister's wedding was exhausting. Heading home on the train now.
How bad was it? Sarah's been sending me angry messages all day.
It was something else. My feet are killing me from standing so long.
Thanks for going alone. I'm sorry. Even though you told me I could do whatever I wanted, you probably got an earful from Sarah because I didn't come, right?
No worries at all. She kept pretty quiet since there were other relatives and friends from the groom's side. Her death glares were scary, but she didn't say anything directly to me.
Oh, that's good then.
Though she did make a point of announcing to everyone that her dear sister-in-law couldn't make it.
She didn't.
But what really wore me out was the wedding itself. Who knew she'd do 5 dress changes? I've never been to a 5-hour wedding before.
What? It was that long? I just assumed you were late because you were helping out with stuff after it had finished.
Yes, 5 hours. You won't believe this. She had a different theme for each costume.
You're kidding.
Well, Sarah had always been obsessed with weddings. I knew she had a lot of specific ideas about her dream wedding, but I never thought she'd try to cram every single one of them in. They even did 3 different cake cutting ceremonies with different cakes.
That's kind of impressive, in a weird way.
The poor catering staff looked so confused. They had to wheel out a new cake every hour.
How did David handle all this?
I mean, if the couple was happy, that's what matters. But David looked completely exhausted.
Oh dear.
He barely smiled after the second hour, just kept checking his watch. But anyone would be. The newlyweds introduction video alone was 30 minutes long. It's so embarrassing to make your parents and friends watch a half-hour video about how you met and fell in love. Most of us already know anyway.
That's practically a TV episode.
Yeah, and Sarah made everyone watch the entire thing before dinner was brought out.
No wonder people were tired.
This must have been my sister going completely overboard on her own. Otherwise, the groom wouldn't have looked so miserable.
Oh, Sarah.
By the end, everyone looked tired, not just the groom. Some of his relatives were even falling asleep and snoring.
That's kind of sad.
One of his uncles started snoring during the 3rd cake cutting. Sarah was furious. I nearly dozed off a few times myself. Plus, I'm starving. The food was good, but there wasn't nearly enough. It was a tiny serving on a plate, like the kind you get in fancy restaurants.
Then hey, want to grab some burgers? I just finished work and was thinking of heading home early.
That sounds perfect. I'm dying for a cheeseburger.
Let's meet at the station then. I'm leaving now.
Wait a sec. I just got a message from David. Says he needs to talk.
At this hour, right after his wedding, shouldn't they be on their way to their honeymoon?
Yeah, something's off. Probably better take this call, right?
Yeah, I wonder what he needs to talk about right after the wedding. Go ahead and take the call. I'll wait.
His messages sounded really stressed. This might be serious.
Take your time. I'll grab us a table at the burger place.
Thanks. I'll head to the station as soon as I'm done.
Hope everything's okay with David.
Emily, I've decided I'm going to sue you for damages. You're going to pay for my entire wedding since you ruined it.
What? The entire cost? And what do you mean, sue for damages? What did I do?
Do you know how expensive this wedding was? And it's all ruined because of you. I'll send you the full bill. You better be prepared to pay every cent.
Are you out of your mind? I wasn't even there.
Thanks to you, yesterday's wedding was a disaster, so you're going to take responsibility.
Because of me?
Yeah, you have no idea how much work I put into this wedding.
Can you explain why it's my fault?
I was watching the wedding video last night. Everyone looked so bored. I was shocked. I worked so hard for my once-in-a-lifetime wedding. I put my heart and soul into it, and everyone looked miserable because of you.
What? How is that my fault? I'll say this again. I wasn't even there.
Exactly. The mood was ruined because you didn't come. The empty seat at the family table was so embarrassing.
Huh?
Everyone probably felt awkward and couldn't enjoy themselves because a family member of the bride was missing. My wedding was ruined, and it's all your fault. Even David's family kept asking why you weren't there.
No way. That has nothing to do with me. Your wedding was just boring, that's all.
What did you say? How dare you call my perfect wedding boring?
I heard all about yesterday's wedding from Jack. The ceremony and reception lasted 5 hours. That's longer than a Lord of the Rings movie. Of course everyone was tired.
That's not true. I carefully planned everything so people wouldn't get bored, and I didn't cut any corners with the food and drinks. Actually, I condensed what should have been a full day into just 5 hours.
Wait, it was supposed to be even longer?
Of course! I had to cut out the Dove release and the 3rd musical performance.
The 3rd performance? How many... Doves?
So, it's definitely your fault that yesterday's wedding was such a flop. You're still getting revenge for something that happened 5 years ago. Your nasty personality ruined my precious wedding. So take responsibility and pay for the whole thing.
The only one who needs to pay is you, Sarah. Stop embarrassing me, will you?
Huh? Jack? Why are you butting into our conversation?
I had to take over because I couldn't stand watching anymore. Sarah, you're being absolutely ridiculous. How does Emily skipping the wedding mean she has to pay for all of it?
Because she didn't come. Her absence is why my wedding wasn't fun. You were there. You saw how dead the atmosphere was. My wedding turned out like that because of Emily.
That's not it. Your wedding was boring because it was 5 hours long. Stop trying to blame Emily for something that's clearly your fault.
How can you say that to your own sister?
I'm just saying the truth.
What? Are you saying my dream wedding was boring?
And now you're trying to extort money from her. Is it because you didn't get as much in the wedding gifts as you expected? What are you thinking? Emily isn't your personal ATM.
How dare you say that, Jack? That's not why I'm asking for money. I just want Emily to take responsibility. You have no idea how much this wedding meant to me.
Are you still going with that ridiculous excuse?
Okay, maybe 5 hours was a bit long, but I tried really hard to make it entertaining.
Where exactly was the entertainment? Our 30-minute introduction video? 5 costume changes? You just crammed in everything you wanted to do without even asking David's opinion.
What? That's not true. David loved all my ideas.
David told me everything. Apparently he was totally against this 5-hour wedding, but you wouldn't budge an inch, so he gave up. You just bulldozed ahead with everything you wanted.
That's not true. We discussed everything and made decisions together. Every time I showed him my plans, he said okay.
Discussion means exchanging constructive opinions. What you did was throw hysterical crying fits until David gave up and let you have your way.
How do you know all this? Have you been talking behind my back with my husband?
I told you, I heard everything from David. He called me after the wedding, saying he needed someone to talk to, and he spent ages venting about you.
What?
David was really at his limits. He said he got so tired of arguing that he just told you to do whatever you wanted. But he never thought it would turn out this badly. He said he's completely broken and regrets everything.
Regrets? How dare he say that about a wedding where the bride worked so hard to make things perfect?
No, you're wrong. You're the one who made the groom say those things.
What?
I heard no matter how many times he tried to convince you to reduce the number of costume changes or shorten the time, you wouldn't listen. In the end, the wedding cost ballooned to nearly triple the budget.
Well, the extra expenses were worth it for my special day.
But you said you paid for all the extra costs yourself, right? Originally, the wedding was supposed to cost $20,000, with each of you paying $10,000, but it ended up with you having to pay $50,000. But you didn't actually have enough savings, did you? You were counting on the wedding gifts, but when the gifts were only half what you expected, you freaked out and tried to get David to cover the extra cost at the last minute.
But I didn't expect them to be so stingy. I told everyone it was going to be a fancy wedding, so I thought they'd give at least $1,000 each in wedding gifts. If they had, we would have had enough.
Nobody gives $1,000 as a wedding gift. Nobody asked you to make it so extravagant. You did that on your own. Made it 5 hours long, and now you're trying to squeeze money out of people?
Squeeze money? That's not... I just wanted my perfect wedding.
I know you've always dreamed of your perfect wedding, Sarah. I understand you want to include all your special touches, but a wedding should have a smiling groom next to you. You need to get your head straight. You're seriously going to get dumped at this rate.
What?
David told me yesterday. After complaining about the wedding for ages, he said, I know it's too late, but I'm wondering if I should even be married.
What? He can't mean that. We just got married.
David said he would have been fine with any kind of wedding as long as everyone enjoyed it, even if it wasn't really exactly what he wanted. That dead atmosphere yesterday with everyone looking bored, and then you trying to blame it on your sister-in-law, making a fuss about not getting enough gift money. He said his love for you just died right there.
That can't be true. We just got married yesterday.
But the bride's behavior was so awful, what else could he do? I heard you gave him the death stare when he refused to cover the extra cost, and you even said you tried to squeeze some money out of your sister-in-law to make up for it.
Well, I was just panicking about the costs.
I won't let you do that. First, you need to talk with your husband about your future. You don't have time to be harassing Emily.
What?
Good luck not getting divorced.
Please, Emily, please help convince David. Huh? I really need your help now. Everything's falling apart. After that, David told me, he said, I'm sorry this is right after the wedding, but I want a divorce. I don't want to be married to you anymore. Oh, that's unfortunate. Please, you have to help me. You're the only one who might understand. He said I completely turned him off.
He said, your obsession with weddings was cute and girly at first, but you took it way too far and it got scary. And apparently, relatives and friends complained about how long it was too. He said he can't stay married after being embarrassed like that. Everyone's taking his side, even my own family.
Wow, it really was worse than I imagined. I'm glad I didn't go after all.
How can you say that? This is serious. But don't you think it's understandable? I've dreamed about my wedding since I was a little girl. I had so many things I wanted to include. As another woman, you must understand that, right?
Well, I guess I can understand to some extent. I had my own particular wishes too, like getting my dress from that specific boutique across town.
See? Right? That's just how girls are. You understand. Every girl has her dream wedding planned. That's why I need you to explain this to David.
What?
You can tell him from a woman's perspective. Make him understand. Tell him how important and special weddings are to women. I know I went a bit overboard, but it's not worth getting divorced over. Please, talk to him.
If you really want me to talk to him, I will. But I'm going to tell him everything, including why I didn't attend.
What? You wouldn't dare bring that up now.
I can definitely talk about how special weddings are to women, but that's exactly why I'm going to tell him how you ruined mine. If you're okay with that, I'll help.
Of course that's not okay. What are you thinking? If he finds out about that, he'll hate me even more. Please, just help me without mentioning the past.
I see. So you haven't told him the real reason I didn't attend. You just told him your rude sister-in-law canceled, didn't you?
Well, I couldn't tell him everything. He wouldn't understand.
Well, I guess you had to do that. If you told him the truth, he'd probably want to divorce you even more. Actually, he might want to divorce you faster.
Listen, couldn't you try convincing him without mentioning that part? I'll apologize for canceling on you 5 years ago. Now that I'm in the same position, I understand how painful it is when family members don't show up. I really am sorry about your wedding. I was just in a bad place then.
Oh, now you're apologizing after 5 years.
But please try to understand my situation. Like I said before, I was frustrated after being rejected 20 times while dating. That's why I canceled. I mean, I didn't have any bad intentions. I was just hurting and jealous. You can understand that, right?
This is exactly your problem, Sarah. This is why you're getting divorced.
What? What do you mean?
You lash out at people around you because of your own issues. Drag them into your problems. Pick fights. You never consider other people's feelings. Yet, you think everyone should forgive you just because you explain your circumstances. David's probably sick of this shallowness, and that's why he decided to divorce you. This isn't even about the wedding anymore.
I'm not shallow. I just want people to understand me.
I get it now. Even if I tried to convince him, it would be pointless. David won't change his mind about the divorce, so I'll have to decline helping you.
Are you serious? You're okay with me getting divorced? After I just apologized for everything?
Why not? After all, you're just a stranger to me, so it's none of my business what happens to you.
What? How can you be so cruel? I thought we could finally move past everything.
That's right. Sarah, I'll be going now. Good luck trying to convince him on your own.
Emily, please, don't leave me like this.
Goodbye, Sarah. Sarah tried desperately to convince her husband David, but he wouldn't listen at all, saying, "Sorry, but I really can't do this anymore." In the end, not only their parents, but even her brother Jack took David's side. And Sarah found herself being the one getting lectured by everyone. She finally signed the divorce papers in tears and had to pay for the entire cost of her 5-hour dream wedding herself. She had to return all the wedding gifts and ended up not just with 0 savings, but completely broke after selling all her personal belongings. I heard the shock of getting divorced right after her wedding really affected her, and now she's quietly living with her parents.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.